Do you wonder if you'll ever be good at English? I mean, really good. Good enough to feel that you can be confident speaking, not stress every time you're asked a question, even answer difficult questions. And this is what Cristiano Ronaldo has done. Over the years, he has improved his English level to such an extent that he can feel really confident doing interviews and press conferences and be really confident with his level to the point where people are even complimenting him on his English. Now, just a note to say that I am not making fun of Ronaldo's English in this video. Quite the opposite, in fact. I want to show the progression he has made and why. And to tell you in an honest way why he hasn't made even more progress than he should. But to show this progression, I have to start at the very beginning of his English journey.
Well, I try my best. Yeah.
Since he was a kid, football has been the most important thing in Ronaldo's life. He was signed with Sporting CP in Portugal at the age of 12, and he played with them until the age of 18 when he moved to Manchester United in England. And this was in 2003.
At pace, all the way through and in. I think he'll claim that. Cristiano Ronaldo's first goal for United.
This is one of the first televised interviews of Ronaldo speaking English after he moved to the UK.
Yeah, it's a good game. It's a good performance. Team win, it's important.
Are you feeling more and more confident with each game?
I don't understand.
Are you confident?
I understand, sorry.
Gary, he's looking confident anyway, Gary.
Yeah, he is confident. He's yeah, you won the match, well done.
Yeah.
As you can probably guess, Ronaldo's English is A1 level, so basically a complete beginner. He leaves out important structures like pronouns, and his listening skills aren't great because he doesn't understand what the interviewer is saying. And perhaps he's not used to the British accent just yet. In fact, he needed a translator in the beginning of his time in the UK, especially when dealing with his manager, the Scottish man Alex Ferguson.
Well, your English now is very good.
Well, I try my best.
Yeah. And this isn't me just being polite. It is very good. But when you first came, I guess it wasn't as good. And certainly, I have spoken it all my life, but I find it hard to understand Alex Ferguson sometimes. So that must have been difficult for you at first.
But I still don't understand him. Because in the beginning, I had to translate, a Brazilian man.
So you had a translator
Of
for
course.
What, for all British people or just for Alex Ferguson?
Well, basically, only for him.
Yeah.
But in fairness, Alex Ferguson isn't the easiest person to understand, even for native speakers.
And is retirement what you thought it would be? I mean, I know you're still very busy, but were there things you were looking forward to that you just thought, well, I'll do that in retirement?
Definitely. Yeah, everyone's got bucket lists, of course. But I look forward to it, and also I made sure I was going to be active. And, difference being was I maybe waking up during the night and I put the television on.
So let's compare Ronaldo's first interview in 2003.
Yeah, it's a good game. It's a good performance. Team win, it's important.
And let's fast forward to just a few days ago when he was interviewed by Piers Morgan in November 2022. Almost 20 years after that first interview.
I was surprised. I thought when I signed, that they signed in that year, Sancho and Varane plus me, that things will be in the way that Manchester should be. As you mentioned, well, Sir Alex Ferguson left a big gap in the club. Not only Sir Alex Ferguson, but one person that I thought make the difference, David Gill, the president, a very, very good man. And the structure around Sir Alex Ferguson was very important too.
Watching that second interview, you can see how much more articulate he is. He's using full sentences, he's using the past tense when he needs to use the past tense, and overall he sounds really confident. So how did he improve his English so much? In my opinion, it wasn't by taking classes, and it wasn't through self-study courses. I believe the number one reason Ronaldo improved his English so much was because of his attitude. He is a very confident guy on and off the football pitch. And throughout his career, he never really cared if he made mistakes while speaking English. Why is this point important? It's important because if you're confident enough, you'll try. You won't be afraid to try to speak. If you're not afraid to try, and if you're not afraid to make mistakes, then of course you're going to improve. It's inevitable. And even if you don't fix every mistake along the way, you'll really improve your flow, your fluency. Just by speaking often, you'll be able to speak more fluently. Granted, you still might make mistakes, just like Ronaldo, but you'll still be able to speak with confidence and with fluency. The more you speak, the better, and Ronaldo just isn't afraid to speak.
Of course, I'm very pleased to have this mark.
So let's go back in time and look at an interview he did in 2007, just 3 or 4 years after he arrived in the UK. You will see his English improved, his vocabulary improved, his sentence structure is better, everything is better. And my thoughts are that he has memorized certain answers to certain questions because he keeps getting asked the same questions all the time. So he's memorized them and he knows how to answer these questions well because he has researched what to say, or he says them very often.
Does that now, you've had a taste of what it's like, does that now give you the impetus to say, we are the champions, we're going to keep this trophy now?
Of course, I think this is good. You are the champion, you know, next season you start with the champion all over the season. This is amazing, but I think the responsibility is still the same. Next season you want to win as well. Now every player have a great experience, and I think everyone wants to win next season as well because the feeling it's amazing, and I want to keep going like that. Me and my colleagues, my friends, because it's a great to be champions in England.
I would imagine millions of people around the world watch this interview. There are so many football fans following his every move. Can you imagine just how much pressure is on him? And yet, he just tries anyway, regardless of the mistakes he's going to make. He isn't perfect, but he just tries, like nobody's watching. But in fact, on the contrary, millions of people are watching. And not just sporting fans. Ronaldo is known the whole world over. He's a massive celebrity. So this is a great lesson for any of you learning English. Nobody really cares if you make mistakes, but they do care if you make an effort. So if it's important to you, why not learn some phrases, some expressions, some sentences that will help you in your line of work? Some general answers to questions, and if asking questions is very important to you, then do that. Learn how to ask good questions. You need to learn and focus on the vocabulary that is important to you in your job or however you use English, and focus on that. The rest is just extra. But as you can see from a different clip from this same interview, he still needs to do a bit of work. Can you spot the mistakes?
And I'm very exciting, very nervous for the game. And after the game, I opened the bottle with my friends, and it's a great feeling. I call a few players to ask what to do, and everyone meeting each other, and it's amazing. It's a great day.
Yes, notice his use of excited instead of exciting. His use of the present simple when he should be using the past simple for talking about the past. And his use of everyone meeting each others. So each others is wrong, it should be singular, each other. And also he leaves out the auxiliary verb in the past continuous. Everyone was meeting each other, or he could have used the past simple. Everyone met each other. So yeah, there's a few things to work on there. This tells me that he's not really doing English classes, or if he is, he's not really applying what he's learned. Moving on 2 years to 2009, this is Ronaldo being interviewed after a game.
Well done, Cristiano. Was it your best ever strike in open play?
Maybe. I don't have opportunity to see the goal, but my friend says fantastic goal. I have to see in replay. Well, the priority is to win here in Porto. You know, the Porto is a fantastic team, great players, but we play our games, we play good, we try to score a goal, and I scored and I feel very happy, and we go second round. It's fantastic.
Now, in contrast to his very first interview, his listening skills have improved greatly. He has no trouble understanding the interviewer. He has improved his speaking skills too, but his language is relatively basic. He's still using the present tense instead of the past tense when he says, I don't have the opportunity to see the goal, instead of I didn't have, or I haven't had the opportunity. He uses adjectives like fantastic many times in this interview, so his range of vocabulary isn't great. And he says things like I'm enjoy instead of I'm enjoying it or I enjoy it. So he's mixing up the present simple and the present continuous. Even so, now I would say he's at an intermediate level, maybe B1, so he's showing some improvement. And remember what I said in the beginning about attitude. This is Ronaldo's attitude. English is not my priority. Interviews are not my priority. Soccer is my priority. So English takes a backseat a little bit, and he knows that's not where he needs to focus. He knows he needs to be able to communicate in English, so he makes the effort. He could make no effort at all and just use a translator the whole time, but no, he tries to speak in English whenever he's asked. So it's definitely important to him, but it's not his number one priority by a long shot. However, if English is important to you and you need it for your job or you need it to make a living, then you need to do a little bit more than Ronaldo. You need to take classes. You need to dare to speak, and you need to learn from your mistakes. Now let's shoot forward 8 years to 2019 when he does an interview with Piers Morgan.
Tell me about your reaction to what has happened.
Well, I'm not going to forget that 2018 probably was the most difficult year of my life in terms of outside football. As you mentioned, that what they accused me was very hard. You know, media, press, writer. There are another parts that make me feel sad because they play with your dignity. It's hard. You have a girlfriend, you have a family, you have kids. It's bad, it's hard. I remember one day I was in home, in the living room with my girlfriend, you know, to do a zap in television, to see the news, and they speak about Cristiano Ronaldo, this and that. And you listen your kids coming down in the stairs, and you change the channel because I was embarrassed. It's like, what is that? I feel embarrassed. I just changed the channel for Cristiano to don't see that they speak bad about his father. A very bad case makes me feel so bad, Piers, to be honest. But outside my house, it's something that you cannot control.
Here he is talking about a very difficult topic, and he manages it really well. This is a sign of a very capable speaker when they can navigate an emotional or difficult topic and still manage to do it well, even with style. You might have noticed he makes some mistakes, but do you really care? You're really interested in what he's saying. And so the mistakes, you almost don't hear them because you're so interested in what he's saying. A good communicator is not someone who doesn't make any mistakes in English. It's someone who can engage the listener, draw the listener in, hold them in the palm of their hand, and really make you want to listen to them. Some ways that Ronaldo tries to do this is that he doesn't try to be eloquent. He doesn't try to use fancy English. He speaks from the heart. He also speaks quite slowly and pauses when he needs to pause. This is a great speaking tactic. You don't have to speak fast to speak well. The last interview we're going to look at is again with Piers Morgan, but this was just a few days ago in November 2022. This is 3 years after that 2019 interview we just saw. He is now back in the UK playing for Manchester United, so he's been back in an English-speaking country for over a year. Now let's see if his English has improved now that he's in an English-speaking country for the first time in 11 years. Here he is talking about coming back to football after losing his baby son. See if you can spot some of the mistakes.
She's a very strong woman.
Yes, she did.
Georgina.
Yes.
I mean, really strong.
Yes.
Just to be your partner is probably not an easy time a lot of the time, with all the attention all the time. But to go through what she's gone through and still get up and be there.
We help each other. But she struggled when she was young, which is she look at life with a different eyes. Even she's young, but she suffer. You know, she born in Argentina. She have his issues with his family as well. She live alone. She have interesting life and histories as well. And she helped me a lot. She is very mature for his age. We help each other. Sometimes when I'm a little bit down, she push me up.
You might have spotted he still favors the use of the present simple. He doesn't really like the past simple, does he? And he uses the possessive pronoun his instead of her when talking about his girlfriend. So you could say in some respect his English hasn't progressed and it stayed around the same level. But apart from these big grammatical mistakes, he still manages to get his point across pretty clearly. He can talk about his feelings, the past, the future, hard times. He can make jokes. He can talk about pretty much anything. And yes, he makes mistakes, but isn't the point of communicating being able to get your message across clearly and with style? And I think he manages to do that. So even though on the practical scale of English level, he's still a B1 level, B2 in places, but he still manages to talk quite easily because he practices speaking a lot. He dares to speak. You never really see him hesitating because of his English, or maybe very slightly. But normally you can see him hesitating because he's trying to think of what to say, not what to say in English. And let's not forget, folks, that he can speak 2 other languages other than English and his native Portuguese. He can speak Italian.
Vamos provare a parlare italiano.
Prova.
Bueno, buonanotte a tutti. Bueno, per me è un orgoglio di ricevere il miglior giocatore della Liga Italiana, grazie ai miei compañeros.
And Spanish.
Pero Guti está muy bien, está entrenando muy bien, me has preguntado de ello. Para otros también está entrenando muy bien, todos están a dar lo mejor y todos quieren jugar. Su objetivo es querer jugar y por eso todos están a dar lo mejor. El grupo está phenomenal.
So that's 4 languages in total. I'm pretty impressed. So Ronaldo, do you think you will learn any more languages in the future? Dutch or German, perhaps?
I love to meet people. I love people. You know, I love to share things, ideas, learn things, ideas, new histories, new brains. Why not? I will do it for sure.
Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video inspired you, and if you like it, don't forget to like and put a comment below if you want me to make more of these types of videos. And if you would like to improve your English, why not try my Fluency Club for intermediate to advanced speakers? It's a conversation club, small groups, you'll love it. Link in the description below. If you don't want conversation classes, I also have some self-study courses available for you. Again, link in the description below. Take care of yourself and see you very soon.